Have you ever asked yourself why Nigerians are not critical thinkers? Why we can't seem to solve problems, invent things, build structures that actually really work? Have you ever asked yourself? It's not because we are lazy or cursed. It's because of how we were trained. From childhood, our minds were wired through a broken school system. We were never taught to think. We were only taught to memorize. From primary school to secondary school to university, it was all about cram, pour, pass, and then forget. That's called rote learning. And that's at the heart of Nigeria's current failure. That's at the heart of why we are where we are today. See, rote learning doesn't teach you how to analyze. It doesn't teach you how to connect the dots or create solutions. It only teaches you how to repeat what someone has already said. So what do we have? Millions of graduates who can only recite theories but cannot apply them in real life. Engineers who cannot build or innovate, who cannot come up with something unique, who cannot come up with something inventive, scientists who cannot experiment, citizens who cannot question their leaders. That is how a whole nation becomes enslaved without even realizing it at all. Now, let me hit you with the facts. The World Bank has something called Human Capital Index. It measures how much of their potential a child born today can achieve if properly educated and healthy. Nigeria's score, 36%. So this just means that if you give birth to a child in Nigeria today, that child has only 36% chance of achieving their full potential at adulthood. Think about that. And while you are thinking about that, South Africa's own is 57%. So it means that if you give birth today in Nigeria and your friend gives birth today in South Africa, your child has only 36% chance of achieving their full potential, while that in South Africa has 57% chance of achieving their full potential. Mauritius is even close to 60%. Do you see the gap? A child born in Mauritius is almost twice as likely to fulfill their destiny than a child born in Nigeria. Not because the child is smarter, but because their school system works. And here's the painful part. Nigerians abroad excel. Our doctors, our engineers, our nurses, they shine in America, they shine in the UK, and they shine in Canada. Why? Because those systems force them to think, not just memorize. That talent is there. But here at home, the system kills it before it even grows. That's why mediocrity is normal. When people are not trained to think, they can only be lied to. So let me be blunt here. Until we tear down this rote learning sense and build real education from scratch, Nigeria will never rise. You can pump billions into infrastructure. You can elect new leaders every 4 years. But if the people cannot think, we will always remain stuck. Nigeria is not poor. Nigerians are miseducated. Fix education and you fix Nigeria. Leave it as it is and Nigeria is totally finished. It doesn't matter if you elect Peter Obi. It doesn't even matter if you elect Jesus Christ. If our education system, if our school system is not fixed, we will always crawl. It is at the heart of our problem. A nation that does not understand the basic principle of how a phone works, you consider it magic. A nation that does not understand how the component parts of a computer is assembled, not just assembled, how they work, how they interact with each other, what interacts with what to ensure you have this. How do you expect that to compete with a nation such as the US? You cannot. To fix Nigeria today, you first have to go to the root cause. And that root cause is in education. How you teach your population from the cradle. That is how your population grows to become adults. The people that end up in Abuja, the people that are leading us today, they did not come from Mars. They came from within us. They are shitty leaders today because the education system is shitty. They are stupid leaders today because the education system is stupid. You cannot expect excellence today when your system that all of us in this country are passing through is flawed. The school system is flawed. Our curriculum is outdated. We simply just have to go back to the basics. Teachers are supposed to be the highest paid. We do not have teachers. Our teachers are just basically regurgitating what their own teachers taught them. And you have a generational issue. You have an issue where nobody understands what we are supposed to be doing. It is a mess. We really need to go back to the basics to understand how nations are built, to understand how leaders are groomed. You do not expect an adult that passed through a broken system to give you excellent results. It just does not work. These people we have in Abuja, it's not like they don't understand these things. So they understand it. This is why they send their children to the best schools in abroad. They send their children to the best schools all over the world. And the funny thing is, these children do not come back with their wealth of knowledge to try to build this country. They stay there and build the countries that they reside in. So you have the vast majority of our population passing through a broken and flawed school system and then coming out as broken adults. When you don't have adults who can think, when you don't have adults who can solve problems, when you don't have adults who can invent, who understand the basic nature of how things work, your country is messed up. Fix our school system and you fix Nigeria.